So the original research that we ran for Challenger, we did in 2008 into 2009. And then the book came out in 2011. So that is, depending on how you count it, somewhere between 11 and 12 years old, if not a little older. Now, that said, particularly the Challenger company, with which I am not affiliated. So we set up a Challenger training company within CEB. Again, that was acquired by Gartner. I think Gartner spun that company out. Full disclosure, I have no affiliation legally or financially with the Challenger IP or body of work anymore at all, but I still think it's right. But we'll talk about how it's evolved, or at least how it could evolve. The thing that's interesting, though, just real briefly, although it's 12 years old, is of course the Challenger company's been out running training programs with hundreds of thousands of reps all over the sellers all over the world, and it continues to be corroborated. The baseline data findings, we have yet to find an anomaly or a geography where it doesn't apply. So I think that's actually pretty powerful. I think it's got some real staying power, which is why it's still around after all these years. People still pick up the book. First of all, it was never meant as a methodology. It's kind of what it's become, right? But what it was meant was simply as a research project. We were just doing research, trying to figure out what sets the sellers apart from everyone else. And we identified this subset of behaviors, really, that they engage in. And we gave it a name and started talking about it. And eventually that became a book, and that became Challenger. What's interesting, of course, is that it's had humblingly just incredible impact, right? It's made its way around to just about everywhere, which is crazy to think about. And so there's another phenomenon that happened at the same time. I joke somewhere around 2015, virtually every CEO woke up one morning and said, we're having a hard time differentiating ourselves. And they all looked in the mirror and said, I know, we'll become a thought leaders, because if we're a thought leader, that'll allow us to stand out in the marketplace and show our potential customers that we have smart things to say. And then marketing got on board with something called content marketing. Shortly thereafter, there's marketing automation. And now we have better data than ever before. So now we can spam the world at scale with huge amounts of high quality content following the mandate of our CEO. So where that all gets us is a world today that was very different than, say, 12 years ago, where most sellers were still showing up and saying features, benefits, products, speeds, feeds. And I think a lot of us still fall in that trap today. But nonetheless, the word that I use to really describe how the world today is very different than early Challenger days is the word context. Because we need to understand when we show up with this insight, which is the core idea of Challenger, and challenge our customers' thinking, show them a new way to make money, save money, mitigate risk. It used to be that was a very unique way to sell. It used to be there's very few other people creating that kind of engagement with customers. Today, in this world of thought leadership and content-led creation, I call it the smartness arms race, where everybody's trying to be insightful. Everybody's trying to teach customers something new, whether it's Challenger or not, whether they've read the book or not, whether it follows the tenets of the Challenger sale. We're all leading with insights and content and ideas and thought leadership. And what happens today is many times we're seeing customers aren't seeing your insight and saying, oh, wow, I feel like I got to do something different. They're saying, oh, wow, there's another thing I got to worry about. So the overall impact on customers is less like I feel so enlightened, but rather I feel so overwhelmed. But we have to understand that it plays out today in a very different context of just this huge amount of information.